AI.
We help HVAC, plumbing, and home service pros get found fast. More leads, more calls, more results. This ain't just marketing. It's AI-powered performance.
Amplify AI.
Hear the roar.
Call Lee at 850-299-1269. Amplify AI.
That bear ain't just for show.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Klinger, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you, serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVL2 Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Where's up in there? Come on, Tom. Did you bring my little buddy?
You don't go nowhere where TK don't go.
Yeah.
Good morning, Panama City. This is the Coach Hale Show. I am Patrick Garner with Turf Pro Pest Control, stepping in for him today as he is out on vacation, sabbatical,
Again. Where's Waldo?
or he's just making sure that Julie is taken care of. To my left, I've got Jim Bob as we go from left to right. Then we got Mr. Kyle Vandergriff with TK Vandy Roofing here with us.
What up?
And then also we got the legendary Jason Kovaleski.
My man.
How y'all doing today?
My man. Tucker says hey.
Yeah.
Tuck, say hey. Good boy.
Come here, Tucker. I need a emotional support animal for this one.
So some of the things we're going to be doing today, we've got we're going to be talking to the Port St. Joe coach here in just
Coach
a minute.
Jones.
About their schedule and everything. Wildcats getting him
That week one bye.
hooked up. That's a big thing.
That's
We-
crazy.
like-
I was looking at that. That's so crazy.
Well,
I looked at it, it's like,
I think
wait,
it's
that's
to
the
their
29th.
advantage.
That's next Friday.
But I was looking at their advantage. So they start out, their first three games they play are all district, and two of them are on the road.
Yeah.
So
That'd
that
be a
week
good
bye
thing,
kind of may help them. They get to see a little bit against going on the road. Holmes County plays Bozeman, who is we're going to talk to about 7-15.
That'd be a good game.
Yeah.
So he'll get to see a little bit, but
Yeah, because Holmes County's tough. You're right. They got Holmes County, Liberty County, and Bluntstown.
all back to back, and two of them on the road, and Liberty County or Holmes County and Bluntstown on the road's tough.
Which is another interesting point. They actually have 6 in the district because they got Chipley and Baker as well.
Yeah.
So that's 6 teams.
Well, it's 5 teams in the district, and then they have 4 road games in their district.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Wonder who did their schedule.
It wasn't St. Joe.
So you're saying this is an advantage for them?
I think it helps them.
Okay.
You get to play the Jamboree.
All right, talk to me, Case.
well, you get to play the Jamboree. Then you get to see your first district game, who
Right.
they're going to play and how they're actually going to play in the season, and you get 2 weeks to prepare for that.
I'd rather have that week bye before Bluntstown after the first two. Get a rest. That's what the old buys were for. It was supposed to be to give you a break in the middle of the season, let you rest up, heal up. So a week one bye to me is one of the dumbest
they're going
things
to
I've
get to
ever
see
heard.
how Bozeman, which by the way they play Bozeman,
Right.
They're going to see how Bozeman plays Holmes County, and Holmes County is tough.
I can't wait for that game. That's probably going to be the game of the
That
week
whole
there.
community is just like Port St. Joe.
Yeah.
They come in there sitting on golf carts. I mean, the whole community shows up.
Isn't that after the what you call it, rodeo?
I'm not sure.
County?
I think it's before the rodeo.
Before?
You don't want to
Okay.
play after the rodeo. Holmes County, I played when I was a coach at Arnold and at Chipley. Holmes County is a tough place to play.
Yeah.
They don't get nearly the amount of credit that they deserve. Man, like Kyle said, they're always tough. They get crazy support. That's not an easy team by any stretch of imagination.
And the whole community comes out and supports during Friday.
That's a good program.
Remind me of Taylor County when we played over there and we pulled a knife on us at halftime.
Thuggalicious.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, we're still waiting on him. He'll be with us in a minute.
Well, hey, since we're waiting on him real quick, let's go over their schedule. I just wanted to, because Patrick, you hit on it. I mean, not only their district games, they have a really tough schedule. I'm going to say their schedule is just as tough as Rutherford. You know, they got Holmes County, Liberty County, Bluntstown, Leon, Bozeman.
Who are we talking about now?
We're talking about Port St. Joe's schedule.
Port St. Joe's playing Leon?
Yep, they're playing Leon.
Wow.
And exactly. That's what I was thinking. Bozeman, Rutherford, Chipley, Baker, and Destin.
Wow.
I mean, their home game
Not too
in the
many easy
district
ones in
is
there.
Baker, and they're like a perennial powerhouse.
Right.
That's tough.
No,
We got Coach now.
We'll get to ask him about it.
Hey, Coach, how we doing? This is Patrick with Turf Pro Pest Control, filling in for Coach James Hale. We got the whole crew here.
What's up, Coach?
What up?
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good. We were just talking about your schedule and how y'all start out the season with the 3 district games in a row, and
A bye.
you get a bye to kind of, I guess, help prepare. How do you feel about that with the schedule? We thought it was kind of interesting.
It's only 9 games, too.
Yeah, well, we our week 1 we got dropped about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and anybody that knows about scheduling, it's hard to schedule in July.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of put us in a bind, and but it was going to work out great. You know, we played Union County last week, who's a good football team, really good football team, and I thought we held our own, figured out some mistakes, some things we need to fix. So it gave us that extra week to fix it, and we'll go 9 games ahead. We got Holmes and Liberty and Bluntstown. I think after that we go to Leon, 5A school. Just played Wakulla to a 37-28 game.
Yeah, good game.
So we're playing. It just gets us prepared before that schedule really ramps up.
Yeah, Coach, you got a tough schedule. I mean, after Leon, you got Bozeman, Rutherford, then back into district play with Chipley, Baker, and then I'm going to tell you right now, Coach, that's a tough schedule.
Like the Florida Gators.
Schedule.
Well, I promise you, if I could have found an easier game in there, I would have.
Oh man!
But they're not. Those are hard to find around here.
No, for sure. But also too, according to like how Max Preps does everything, that's also a net positive for you as well.
It is, but you have to win some.
Yep.
You still have to win a couple games. You can't. You go 10-0. It don't matter how weak your schedule is. FHSA is going to put you in that top 12. No matter what. Now, with a tougher schedule, you can afford to lose a game because that strength will help you. But
hey, Coach,
at the end, you got to win.
Hey, Coach, can I ask you something? Your quarterback is Jacob Hensley, right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Great baseball player, too. Pitcher. How's his development going into the senior year? What's his mindset? I know you guys, in 1A football, you don't have a ton of depth. That's just the nature of the game. When you lose one guy, you actually lose 2 because they play both sides of the ball.
That's right. Or 3. Depends on
or 3. Or the special teams as well.
That's right.
But I wanted to ask you, how's Jacob's mindset? Because, obviously he's the leader.
Oh, he is a leader. He's a smart kid. He's accountable. He does a great job of being where he's supposed to be, doing what he's supposed to do, and being an example for everyone else on that team. He's very level-headed. Because I'm not, and he and I work very closely together. And when I lose my mind, he does a great job of calmly saying, "Yes, sir."
So he's a coach's quarterback.
Yeah.
He is what I need, and there are times I will take a step back and go, I got to thank him, or I need to apologize. He handles himself really well and keeps things rolling. At least I'll be honest about it. I mean, as a head coach and OC, you're going to get on your quarterback.
Oh, for sure.
But you need one that can handle it, that can take the yelling, take the criticism.
Coach, besides your quarterback, who's some standout players you've seen already this year that we should be watching out for with the names and some of the highlight reels?
when we watched going back in that game, Corbin Butts being back and healthy is huge for us. He's a running back, outside linebacker. And then Eli Harris coming, he's a senior. He played running back for us last year because of Butts being hurt. And he made a couple good cuts, good runs the other night, and played really well on defense. Again, everybody I'm going to tell you about is going to play both ways, by the way. So True Benedict's the 330-pound big offensive lineman we got, but also plays D-tackle. And for a big boy to go both ways, hopefully by week 6 and 7 and 8, that guy can go more than, he can go multiple series in a row for us. But we just had Jay Curry, a kid named Jaden Reese. I will tell you, he's a junior, plays baseball, basketball. We got him out to play football, and he's really coming along.
Now, don't give away all the secrets, Coach. I mean,
yeah, he's 6'2", but on Mac Preps, you don't got his weight. What's his weight? Because that's a good measurement right there.
I would say he's probably about 160.
Okay, all right. We need to beef him up a little bit.
He's eluded the weight room.
Okay, he's one of those.
But he's. I think now we've got him in a good class. We got him. Actually, we have most of our basketball guys together, and they're all. We can kind of focus on them, small class, and he's doing well.
Oh, Coach, I couldn't make the weight room, but I did good stretching.
Coach Jones,
yeah, man. As long as they can run, they're good.
Yeah,
I need for you to explain. I'm an old timer, not quite as old as your father, but I'm an old timer too, and I truly do not understand. And I'm not accusing anybody. I just want to understand, what is a non-traditional student? Gaston County, they had guys from Cairo, Georgia, Miami. How does that work? I mean, just to explain to an old timer like me how that works.
I would. If I don't think anybody really knows. If they did, they might not have gotten in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a kid that's not in your. He's not a brick and mortar kid, so he's not in your school.
So is he homeschooled?
I mean, you can have.
So is it like Bay Virtual or something?
Yeah, it'd be like a virtual school, like FLVS classes.
Okay.
And the way Florida works now, you can have a kid on virtual school in the Keys. He could be in Key West, and he can fly to Pensacola every Friday and play in the game.
Wow.
That's how. Wow. I mean, it's
this
really
like the Wild Wild West?
That's crazy.
It is the Wild West, and there's other states, Alabama and Georgia. I mean, they make fun of us. Like, what are y'all doing? You lose that competitive nature, and there's no loyalty, and that's the sad thing. And as coaches, everybody wants to win, and I think as coaches we probably could stop it, but at the end of the day, you want to win.
Yeah.
And a kid comes in, you're not going to say, "Oh no, I'm not playing you," because you're FLVS. If you're eligible and it's legal and you can do it, you're going to play them. If they make you better.
Do coaches know where the line is? Because we have some issues here up in Bay County. It's pretty well known right now. Where coach is accused, he says I'm innocent. FHSAA says no, this is what you did wrong. But maybe sometimes it's an administration thing. Do we even know where the line is with some of this recruiting and stuff?
Where's the line in this? Like, it's so there's so much ambiguity.
Well, it seems with school choice that some of this stuff would go away, but it seems like they're actually ramping it up and really putting some penalties on some of these coaches and programs.
Yeah.
They are, and it's a fine line. I mean, you have to be really careful with. I mean, your kid walks in your school and he goes, "Hey, I want to play football." Great, go talk to guidance because I can't say a thing to you about athletics.
Right.
You need to go enroll. When you enroll,
that is
I can
the
talk
protocol.
to you.
That's 100% the protocol.
And the thing is I know that it's all about academics, but there are some kids, in my opinion, there are some athletes that they wouldn't graduate if it wasn't for sports. Sports are what
100%.
They wouldn't even go to class. So.
That's right, and that's how we get them to class. That's how we keep them in class. And sometimes I think, you might want to say a little bit about athletics to them. Like, hey, if you come, we offer all of these things, but you can't even do that as a coach.
Yeah.
Now, guidance can do it. I think they can, but I know they have to enroll in the school before we can ever speak to them.
Yeah, Coach, let me ask you a question. Each year, do you have to, and this is just what I heard from somebody, do you guys have to go over the policy statute 36?
About the recruiting?
Yes.
So we go over it with our kids because, and this is what I don't like either, if my daughter was to play on a travel team and her best friend, and she's made the comment or texted her, "Hey, you look good in purple and gold," regardless of what it is, but that can be spun that she's recruiting her, we're in violation.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a kid, and that's the sad thing is for coaches, whether if we know we can know nothing about it, and they could the other student could reach out to them from the other school, and they could say, yeah, we'd love to have you. You need to come here. We'd be great. We need a receiver, or whatever it is. If that ever came back, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
the kids in trouble, and us as coaches are in trouble, and we could be as innocent can be.
No, yeah, I think Chapter 36 needs to be looked at. I also think for their education with not only coaches but athletic directors and administration needs to be had at the district level.
Yeah, there just need to be common sense solutions to this because there's teams that just, it seems that they just don't know the rules, and maybe that's on them, but it seems like the line changes for each individual, situation. So,
Right. Well, and, you do have FTE numbers, and that's how we're funded as a school. So a superintendent or a principal, we need FTE numbers. That's how we pay for everything. That's how we afford things. So, yes, those guys are going to go out and recruit students.
Right.
Now, if they happen to be athletes, great. But we need bodies in the school.
Yeah, butts and seats.
And the way it's working, your charter schools and your private schools are getting a lot of funding that the public schools aren't. We're starting to lose out public school-wise.
Yeah, we're learning a lot.
Oh, yeah, we're learning a lot. Coach, we appreciate you coming on the show this morning. Good luck next week.
Coach Jones got generational knowledge.
Good luck tonight studying up some game film and watching some stuff so you can get a little more prepared.
I get to go watch Holmes and Bozeman play.
Great game.
Yeah, that'll be a great game.
I don't know where to eat in Bonifay, but I'm going to find it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a couple good places to eat there, some home cooking, little restaurants.
That's what I need.
You going to be with us next Friday, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We appreciate you, Coach.
Good luck, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys. See y'all.
All right. See y'all. All right. So here with us, we got TK Vandy Roofing and Jason Kovaleski. Kyle, tell us a little bit about TK Vandy Roofing before we go to break.
So real quick, you can contact us, 866-9908. Look, if you get a letter in the mail in regards to insurance, not renewing the policy due to the age of the roof, give us a shout. We'll walk you through the process real quick. Not a big deal. tkvandy.com. Hit me up there, or 866-9908. And Jason, tell me about that methylene blue you got.
Yeah, we do have that now. So I've
been on it for a month. I love it.
I do too. It really helps with cognitive, function. Absolutely. I feel like I'm awake instead of like just dragging through the day. But we do have methylene blue now. We got BPC 157. If you have any joint pain, any connective tissue injuries, those are really good. Something you produce in the stomach, so not a lot of side effects with that. But we got some, great products. We have a free sample bar where you can try before you buy. We also have our InBody 570 to track results, give you a body composition analyzer. So, but we're located in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods and in the Del Coronado Village next to Tzatziki's and Black Sheep Armory.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody listen to us on Facebook, or when we come back, we will be talking with the Bozeman coach.
Got Coach KP.
We'll see you on the other side.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
I don't like the guy either. I mean, gosh, he comes up with some of the craziest stuff, and it's usually anti-SEC, it's anti-Alabama, and it's sickening at times.
Hale's starting to play the game plan. He's starting to trigger some of those Alabama fans.
Yeah, well, he needs to have his security there because us Alabama fans, we don't forget. And Danny Cannell, that's right, buddy. If you're here on vacation, we're coming for you.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, numerous thunderstorms and very light rain and a high of 88 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, scattered thunderstorms and sprinkles and a low near 78. Tomorrow, definite thunderstorms and moderate rain and a high around 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Now that's the spicier food demo!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Panama City. Welcome back to the Coach James Hale Show. I am Patrick Garner with Turf Pro Pest Control filling in. I've got to my left Mr. Jim Bob, former coach here in Bay County. I got Kyle Vandergriff with TK Vandy Roofing and Jason Kovaleski with Matsvik Sport Nutrition. Before we get to our coach here at Dean Bozeman, let's go over a couple sponsors. It is Friday. If you need to go get something to eat tonight, especially if you're heading out to the Mosley game, go ahead and stop by Beef O'Brady's. Go see Pat and the crew out there. Get you a good meal before you get into that game. You don't want to go hungry to the game.
Oh, I'm going to get some wings before I go.
Hey, they got some great wings. But if you're going, or if you can't get to Beef O'Brady's, hey, Wildcat, how are they going to make it up to their wife?
All you got to do is take either some old jewelry and have it clean, have it inspected, or take advantage of rock bottom prices at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, 830, Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
All right, Coach, you there?
I'm here.
Man, we are excited about the start of the season this year.
I know Kyle can eat some daggum wings.
Oh, you know that.
Kill him.
You know that. Hey, big gut, no butt. That's what they call me.
Hey, we know he can eat them. I just want to know if little TK over there can eat some of them, or if he's on a stricter diet.
Hey, Tucker. Hey, don't.
He don't eat some wood, some shoestrings. I mean, he'll eat anything.
Yeah, he'll eat that sheetrock right there if you want him.
I didn't know if Kyle here had him on a
strict diet.
Strict diet.
Yeah, whatever he
You put the right sauce on there, you can eat sheetrock. I
So how you looking for your season, Coach? I know you got a big game opening up tonight. I know the boys are excited to play. So just give us a little outlook on what you're looking at here.
Yeah, Holmes County, at Holmes County.
We were just talking about them with the St. Joe coach.
Yeah, we've watched them on film a couple times, a couple games on film where the little scrimmage and then the kickoff classic. They're a really good football team. They're a huge contrast from what they were a year ago or 2 years ago, when Womble was there. So Coach Russ is there. He's throwing around the yard a little bit for sure.
Yeah, Coach, I
think our guys are excited about it.
I was looking at your schedule, and me personally, I think you have one of the coolest districts now because all these districts get so spread out, but yours is right here with Rutherford, Mariana,
and North Bay.
And North Bay. I mean, it's really the old school kind of vibe with your district. What's your thoughts on that?
It is, and it's kind of a, again, you don't have to travel very far to play, and you kind of get to build those little rivalries, and make it fun and make it important and those things. And so that's kind of how we do our season is we kind of break it up in threes, You got everything you have before the first district game is kind of a preseason, and then you got your district game, and then hopefully you get a chance to make it to the postseason. And so that's kind of how we've always done it the last 27 years, and we're going to, that's what we're gearing up for we want to be in our stride about the time we hit our first district game. So, but I'm excited about, I know I coached in Mariana playing up there. Coach Glover does a good job. And, that's a great environment to have your kids play in. I know our stadium's a great environment because I got a chance to play there last year when I was at Arnold. So I know that, and I know that, Tommy Oliver's a great environment. So I'm excited about all those things. And I guess our game at North Bay Haven is going to play at Gavlac. So I'm excited about going back to Gavlac and playing. So, it's just, it is a good small town, that small town vibe in our district. So it's going to be fun.
I'm glad you said that, Coach, because I want to point out some small town vibes that I think is going to, be more electric for your guys and everything. Not only do you have Holmes County, but you've got Bluntstown, Mariana, Port St. Joe. So, those three right there are, Sneeze. Those right there are real small town vibes. The communities come out, they show support. And and you always want to play when there's more people in the stands. Ain't that right, Coach?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I'm telling you, it's I love playing in big games. I can, and just my time before I got over here, and I just love big games. I can remember that's a long time ago, maybe 2010. We played at Sanford Seminole where they came to us. I can't remember, and there was 11,000 people in the stands there at the land. It was incredible. Well, we went over to Mainland and played in the second round of the playoffs. There was 13,000 people. I mean, it was incredible because it's such small stadiums, and so you're cramming all those people in there, and it's just I think kids feed off of that, and I think that and I know coaches do, You sure don't want to look like a fool out there in front of 13,000 people, but you know what I mean? So I'm excited about those, those types of games for sure.
Coach, for the people who hadn't really paid attention to you as much getting into this season, how you looking on offense, and then maybe some of your offensive stars or defensive stars that you got?
Yeah, again, we're getting here so late, but we're kind of catching our stride right now. And so on offense, I can't say enough about Coach Trey and what he's done with that offensive line. They've come a long way from when we got here. But, right now at quarterback, we're going to start tonight. It's going to be Hayden Gay. And, T.J. Truitt will also play at quarterback. But T.J. Truitt right now has been our most productive offensive guy. He can catch it, he can run it, he can throw it. I mean, he can do all three of them. He's a good. He's super fast, and we just we try to get him the ball. We probably don't get it to him enough because you got John Hanson, who is absolutely incredible too. I think that John, possibly he's one of the best football players in Bay County in the senior class, in my opinion. But he leads us every week in receptions, and he just does a great job of getting open. And it's kind of weird it's just he don't have blazing speed, but by God, he can catch it, and he just seems to, run away from people. So it's those guys are really, really, really good. And then on the outside, at our two X's is Caleb Hintz and Evan Clements, and they do a good job of great route running. They do a great job in the run game blocking. So I'm very excited about those guys. And then, the guy that probably gets us started better than anybody is a kid, Jackson Tice. He's a fullback, and I mean, he will mash you. I mean, he is a throwback fullback, and love watching that kid play. And he usually gets us started. I mean, he comes up with big plays or big runs or big blocks. Maybe not long runs, but I mean, he's not going to run around anybody. And so I really enjoy that. Then on defense, I think the guy that anchors us down is Asher Burris. He does a good job on our defensive line. He's a nose guard tackle. And then, of course, Wade Mitchell and Braden Spence in the middle have done a super job for us. And In fact, they led us in tackles last week at Cottondale. And then, John Hanson also plays safety for us, and TJ plays corner. So they do a good job. And Riley, I tell you, I can't say enough about Riley McNeil. Last week he was on Cam, the University of Florida commit, and he did a great job. I mean, now Cam got a touchdown on him late, but, he was in perfect position, and he comes off the field. He's crushed, man. I think, my God, this guy, I said, Riley, that dude's going to Florida next year. He'll be doing this in the spring at Florida.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll remember this. Absolutely. I remember when Emmett Smith ran me over in high school. I remember. So, but no, he did a great job all night. We held our own with him, and so there were, at least he wasn't wide open. He was covered up great. The guy just went and made a play, and that's what playmakers do. They make plays, and Riley's just a sophomore, and he's going to get better and better, and he'll start making the plays. So that we need that. We need it for the future. They need to understand what it's like, and so they're kind of getting the hang of that. On the run too, they're getting the hang of it.
Coach, we really appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us this morning. You're going to be here next week so we can talk to you some more next week about how you did this week and next week versus Leon.
5A Leon, that's something, man.
Hey,
it makes your schedule.
But you got a great community up there. They'll turn out and support it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, they will. Hey, look, you come to Sand Hill now, you better be ready to play.
Yeah.
Our kids are going to scrap. I promise you. They're going to fight tooth and nail every second.
Coach, like I said, we appreciate you coming on the show. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you, KP.
All right, guys.
Good luck, Coach.
Good luck tonight.
Guys. Yep. All right, bud. Bye.
Tonight, if you're getting kind of hungry, go out, get you some Mexican food at El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, some of the best places to eat here in town, right across from the Navy base.
The coldest tequila.
Yes. But if you want a cold beer, you can go on down to J. Michael's right down the street here on Thomas Drive. Some of the coldest beer in town. Great food, great people. We'll be back here in just a few minutes on the Coach Hale Show.
Wanted to reach out and smack someone?
Sit your ass down and shut up!
The new Sports Blitz. Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming.
You've got to have a bad game at some point.
Feel the burn.
This is unacceptable at the University of Alabama.
The Red 70s studio line.
This could go 7 games.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Get in the game.
What's in store at our national sales event? A lot. And this month at Panama City Toyota, get 3.99% APR on the super stylish Camry, plus 90 days until you make your first payment, and 3.99% on the impressive RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the ruggedly refined Tacoma, or get 1.99% on the hardworking Tundra. Let's put you in the driver's seat at Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires September 2nd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin & Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin & Bullion Reserves.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. Well, what's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida
got some stuff.
Yeah, welcome back to the Coach Hale Show. Right before we get to Big Jim over here, Jim Bob with some updates on the Florida State. Let me get a couple of these sponsors, talk about them. Folks, it's been hot. I know we've had some rain this year. Two things you need to do. Go get your skin checked. Dr. Ward with Dermatology Associates can get out there. Jason's checking some of his stuff right now.
I mean, need to get in. Makes me nervous.
If you're not wearing all those long sleeve shirts and covering way up all the time, even when you do, like I do, you still have to go see the dermatologist.
You're out in the elements every single day.
A 5-minute check by him it could save your life, and it's that important. Me and Jason were talking the other day. Jason's had a couple of things that happened that he's getting checked out.
And when it comes to any kind of cancer, early detection
and Wildcat can tell you,
100%.
He's been battling some cancer, got through it.
Yep.
Go get it checked out. Don't wait too long, because it can become serious if you don't. But speaking of being hot, just call Steverson Air Conditioning. They can come out there. They can fix your system. They can put you in a new system. Do whatever. You can turn that thermostat down below what he tells you at like 70, 72. You can turn it to 65 if you want to, and you'll feel like an icebox in there.
And then your bill will be cheaper. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, and most of the time that air conditioning system is going to pay for itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Just on your power bill. So y'all give those a call. They're local people. Everybody we have here as a sponsor is local. I do want to mention, since I forgot to, with the St. Joe Taco Bell, they support the show, and Coach was on here with us. So, Jim Bob, what we got for Florida State today?
All right, if you know me at all, you know I'm a Cleveland person, Cleveland Indians. I have a hard time calling them the Guardians, but anyway, what does this got to do with Florida State? Well, they called up a Florida State pitcher on Wednesday. His name is Parker Messick, who played a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was drafted, I think, in 2022. He did very well. He should have won the game. He went over the 6 innings, only gave up 1 run, struck out 6. They were pretty excited. He's a left-hander, which is always a good thing, because everybody's looking for left-hand pitches. I was impressed. He's like 20-something, 24 probably, something like that. Has done very well in the minor leagues. Won a lot of games, striking a lot of people out. So they gave him a shot. And he did very well. And then the other thing I saw, I don't know if any of you are turf people, understand how turf works, but I couldn't believe it.
I think I know some guy.
I'm an old timer here, and I have a hard time believing. What, is our dog doing something here?
Our mascot's getting a little tape. We're good.
Anyway, Florida State took out this week.
Yeah.
I think it was on Monday or Tuesday of this week. They removed the turf at Doak Campbell Stadium.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm thinking to myself, they're playing on the 30th. How can they have? How can they have?
We're going there next weekend.
In place. That's going to not.
So what they're doing on that?
So they're calling it.
Oh, we got the expert here. We got some expert testimony.
Towards my field, I feel like.
So what's the deal with the turf?
Dr. Ward in here.
At the turf.
So the actual field they're going to put in is called a lay and play. It's something similar to what they do for national championship games, bowl games. They put them into stadiums for special events. The weird thing about that turf is most of that was already new, and it wasn't that old. They were growing it in. It didn't make it. They had 2 practices on it, and after the practices, it was just coming apart in pieces everywhere.
Is that a manufacturing problem or an installation problem by the contractor?
I don't think either one. I think one of the things that you probably had happen with all the construction equipment, if you followed the rebuild, especially after last season with the heavy equipment on there, I think you had a lot of compaction. Yes, they tilled it all up. The root system didn't take. That's going to be the easiest way to explain it. And that could be
20 reasons.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that they can put down on turf to help grow roots and stuff, and sometimes it works. It's a living organism. Sometimes it just never takes. And that could be a soil condition that you can't really tell. I've had it happen one time before when we put in some sod and the pH was just way too high, the soil. But we brought in a whole bunch of soil. Nobody really tests soil when that happens. So as you're talking about a field that large, they're bringing in soil, but they're not testing every load of that soil. And they're not testing the dump trucks for different things. So you could have actually something that looks like is we hear it all the time in my line of work. Oh, that's good looking soil because it's a certain color. And it looks good, yeah, but all your micronutrients and your pH levels are off the charts. And even the best Bermuda doesn't like to grow over a certain pH in height or low. So if you got low pH or really high pH, the roots just aren't going to develop and the grass is going to die. So that can happen. The lay and play when they come in there, basically what they're going to do is they take the old field out, they take a couple inches of dirt out. That sod already has the root system and it's rolled in. It's way more expensive than what they did to start with. If you were looking at one of the, I think it was the national championship game this past year, no, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is what it was. They actually played in a dome stadium. They had those on rollers. And they would take the sod. They would take the sod out of the stadium and back in, and they did that for over 2 weeks while the teams were getting accustomed to that field, and you can remove it that quickly. My concern is how's it going to do, not the first game, but that second and third game because of the heat, and it's ready to play. They put it in tight. If you've never seen it, they're not putting in a 2 by 2.5 little square. These are the size of the room we're in now. They're chunks they're bringing in.
Real quick. So the lay and play field already has the root system in the soil, and they bring the soil and everything in and just lay it.
They bring a thing down and literally
and then press it or whatever.
Press it down. There's a couple different ways. They can do it on big, huge rolls that looks like a roll of carpet. Right. And they put it down, they roll it out, and that's going to be 4 or 5 inches thick, that sod and the dirt, and it's all together. So the way they grow it and maintain it.
I read a couple of articles on this. Is there any concerns about maybe the rain that they're getting over there and how it will set on the field, or how this will be able to?
No, not really.
Okay.
And the reason why is
you read a lot of stuff online. You just don't know if it's true, and people are like, we're not playing this game.
So the strips are either going to be 3 to 4 feet wide or 8 to 10 feet wide. Okay. And they're going to be a length of anywhere, size of, think about the double size of a pallet, up to 100 foot long.
Okay.
So if they roll it out, you don't have to. If you roll it out in the big rolls, they can set it down. It's going to be 4 foot, 5 foot wide. A machine backs up and that sod rolls out. Then they bring another piece in and they butt it right together. You hardly can tell the seams when it's done the correct way.
Okay.
So it's not, I know it's a big deal for some people, but it's really not a big deal when you talk major sports. This is not an uncommon lay and play field. They do it in a lot of different sections. You've seen it on fields where you watch a game one week in between the numbers, it's just completely chewed up. And then they play the next week and it looks decent. They put a lay and play down.
Okay.
In the center.
So we're good to go.
Yeah,
no excuses.
All right. I mean, we'll talk about Alabama here in just a minute, but 2 years ago, Alabama replaced their field. Nobody knew.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
I laugh because I was there when they were replacing it just because my daughter was at cheer camp.
Oh, wow.
And I was talking to the guys, and I was looking at the sod and the type of it was. I actually gave my father-in-law a little piece of it, and he's growing it. It's funny. He's got a little cup that he grows it in at his house, puts it in the sun and manicures it, cuts it with scissors, and
So Castellanos doesn't have anything to worry about. He's going to run all over Alabama.
Yeah, the footing will be.
He's still talking.
Yeah.
He going to run or run that mouth?
I don't know. He's doing both. We'll see.
The people in the stands won't be able to tell that was a sod laid field 2 weeks.
All 60,000 of them.
And it should have been done yesterday, finalized. It doesn't take long to do it. They said it was going to take 2 to 3 days. So I want to tell you that whole field, new sod.
We're a week away.
2 days.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Ready for some hit.
What else you got, Jim Bob?
That was pretty much. I was going to talk a little bit about our boy Castellano still running his mouth. He's saying that the best defense he's going to see is the one he sees every day in practice. And I'm thinking to myself, when are they going to shut him up?
Well,
he's like, enough already.
He's trying to give confidence to the defense.
I mean, I understand what.
And a lot of these guys, especially in that position, they're starting to try to figure out this whole brand recognition, influencing thing.
Yeah.
Get more Twitter followers, get
more NIL.
and all that.
Now, the most interesting thing I saw this week out of Florida State, because we cover everything kind of with Florida State, is they had an open tryouts for baseball. It is today at Dick Hauser Stadium.
Really?
I'll be back.
It's only for fully enrolled students. So that's a little, you don't hear that in major college sports, especially at some of these levels, like, they were in the world in the playoffs last year, and they got such a.
There's some football programs that used to do that. I think even Ohio State had some open trials back in the day when under Cooper, I believe, where they had guys come out that were enrolled in schools, some guys that did intramural football that were really good, some lacrosse players. I don't think any of them ever made it.
Yeah,
because,
some special teams.
Yeah. When you're in a school like that and you got elite talent out there and you're like 180, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have came out. But it used to happen a little bit, but that's kind of strange to me now with the scholarships, NIL.
And it was all over Facebook that they did it. They announced it to all the thing, and you had to be enrolled, you had to sign a waiver, and then today's the tryout. So good luck to whoever's out there trying out. Maybe you can hit a couple bombs, be that hero that
hit 92 on the what you call it.
Hit one out there in the parking lot, hit the circus tent or something.
I love it. Florida State.
Woo! That's it. This weekend, if you want to go watch some college football, we got a couple of decent games going on this weekend. It's not a really big weekend. You can go on down to Dat Cajun Place. They're going to have some TVs with some games on. If you are an LSU fan, or if you're not an LSU fan, go ahead and wear an LSU shirt, because when they score, you're going to get what, Jason?
Shots.
Jello shots.
Hey, and then on Sunday, you can go down there and you can get some who scores?
The Saints.
There you go.
Saints.
Who dat?
Shots.
Who dat, Wildcat?
That's right.
Oh.
Well, I say who day. Because I'm a Bengals fan.
Okay.
We were talking about Chad.
We came up with it first, didn't we, Jason?
We did.
We were talking about Chad Mitchell just a few minutes ago. He's going to be on the sidelines again this year, his 26th season. He's helps with all the sports medicine all over the county. Great guy, great company with Orthopedic Associates. If you have any type of injury, give you a call. He can get you fixed up. He does robotic surgery,
sidelines,
stuff like that. He was at the Arnold game last night, as Kyle's telling us.
What happened in that game?
We'll hit that here in just a minute. We've got to cut to a break. we can let Jason tell us all about the Bay Arnold game on our way back after we do the Alabama report.
Yeah,
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, numerous thunderstorms and very light rain and a high of 88 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, scattered thunderstorms and sprinkles and a low near 78. Tomorrow, definite thunderstorms and moderate rain and a high around 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you feeling tired, weak, or maybe you feel old and cranky? If so, I have the answer. It's Max Fit Sports Nutrition with 2 locations, 23rd Street in the Coronado Plaza and in Pier Park North on Back Beach Road. Max Fit Sports Nutrition has nutritional products and professional dietary plans to get you moving in the right direction. So get off that couch and get to Max Fit Sports Nutrition now. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, where you can try it before you buy it.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Give them a call. Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome Welcome back to the Coach James Hale Show. I am Patrick with Turf Pro Pest Control. We are the home of the Atlanta Braves here at 104.3 Northwest Florida, ESPN
Go Bravos.
Radio.
Go Braves.
Speaking of football, as we've been doing all this, Wildcat, there's something going on with the radio station that they're going to be doing. Tell us about how you can go watch some football games.
Oh, absolutely. They stole my little cheat sheet, but I can tell you this. We're going to put some butts in every Jacksonville Jaguars home game coming up this season. There'll be more details later on. Like I said, they took away my cheat sheet, so I can't tell you much more about it. But I can't tell you much more about it because I don't know much more about it.
Just send them to dkaiser21 at AOL.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Second week of the season.
Request.
I think they play the Bengals at some point, so I'll take those tickets.
Oh, yeah. I'll go with you.
Yep.
You got
Old Burrow.
Yeah.
Before we get into the next segment, get going, let me get a couple of these sponsors.
Details coming up.
Steve's Bike Shop. If you want to get in a little bit better shape, get over there to Steve's Bike Shop. He can get you one of those new e-bikes or a traditional bike. If you already have one, he can also do the repair. He did a repair this week for a kid in school. It was posted out earlier. I read it on the thing. Kid had a flat tire. It was super hot. Some administrator at one of the schools picked him up, took him to school, got his bike, took it over to Steve's Bike Shop. They fixed the flat tire, got it back to the school, and then didn't charge nobody.
Good man.
Nice.
He's a good coach, too.
He's a good guy. He's a coach over there at Mosley with the swim team. Great company right across the street from...
he's been in business, 40 years?
He's been
79, right?
That's what I aspire there.
That used to be
Much
his parents' house.
Wow, nice.
The shop. It was pretty cool. I was in here when
I need to go by and see him. I need a new bike. I need to be riding the bridge. We got a little fluff on me.
I need one of those motorized bikes because I don't want to pedal.
That defeats the purpose.
Hey, that's it.
But they're nice. I think I would go that direction, too.
You know, Turf Pro Pest Control, I'm the owner, Patrick Garner. We can come out there, get your yard taken care of. If you got bugs in your house or anything like that, give us a call. We can get them out of the house, and we can also prevent them from coming in the house. More on that a little later. And then what do we got for an Alabama update? Because if we don't do it, the legendary Coach Hale is going to...
Well, we do the Alabama update at 8
o'clock. Because we're going to have
Florida. I've got it backwards. It's Florida. I should turn my paper over.
We're going to have a real expert.
Well, here's what I'll say about Florida. They got
a cheat sheet like I do.
Yeah.
They got a tough schedule, and if DJ Lagway can stay healthy, then they may have a good season. But if not, they're in trouble.
I'm still a little worried. I'm still not sold on Napier. I know they had a good end of the year, but, man, I don't know. That schedule's tough. Lagway's been hurt. Mm-hmm. What really separated them at the end of the year is that defensive line dominated. So and they lost a couple of guys off that defensive line. So they got to get that production to beat some of these teams. They have a gauntlet of a 4-game stretch where I think it's LSU, Georgia, Texas A&M, Texas.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I don't think anybody in the country has a stretch like that. I mean, those are all playoff contenders, national champion contenders. So
their last 10 games are brutal.
Oh, it's brutal. When you're out of conference games are Miami and Florida State, and then you play an SEC schedule. I don't know who's making their schedule, but they got to make some changes to that if they want to be competitive.
The 100%. Consensus is DJ's got to stay healthy.
For sure.
And all that. And I kind of mentioned it Monday. We were at the show, and I've kind of come up with a number myself for his performance numbers. And Chad Mitchell was a little surprised by it, but I think if DJ has to throw for more than 3,000 yards, they don't have a good year.
Right.
I think he needs to be in that 2,800 yards of throwing for passing, because if they don't have a run game to complement that in the running back field, and they're dependent solely on him throwing the ball, now, he's going to be a good runner. He's going to get his yards rushing.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think if he's coming out and he's got to throw for 3,500, 3,600 yards for them to try and win games, some of those big games you're talking about, I don't know that he makes it the whole season healthy, because
his first year kind of reminded me of Joe Burrow's. The first year he was at LSU, he threw for 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Everybody's like, Lagway, we talk a little bit more because you can see the physical traits, but he had, 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I mean, and we're talking about him winning the Heisman. I mean, didn't set the world on fire, but you see the potential. So if he makes that next step, they got to have some, support, though, with the run game, because if he's just dropping back throwing 50 times, I mean, he's going to get hurt.
So you stop and think, but I was sitting here thinking, the running, you talk about running the ball in Florida. Think of the running backs they've had in the past. Now, we're going way back here, but Emmitt Smith, Fred Taylor. I mean, you talk about some real legitimate guys, and I just don't see the University of Florida getting those kind of guys.
They had Spiller, but they lose them to Georgia.
Anymore, So, yeah, you can do it by committee, but it's still, it'd be nice if you had some guy, hey, you give him the ball 20 times a game, he's going to get you over 120, 130
I don't think they have to have a legend.
No.
I think if they can get maybe two guys that can get in that 50 to 60-yard range a game and average, kind of a 1-2 punch, or have one guy that can average 80 yards a game, that takes all that. We've all played football. It's going to lock the linebackers up. It's going to allow him to do more play action, the rollouts, where really DJ is best at. And that puts more pressure on the defense. If you don't have a run game, you got to spy on him the whole time as far as a defensive scenario. And that spy, and I think he's just going to get too many hits having to throw the ball too much.
100%.
We really don't know what the offensive line is going to look like either.
Yeah.
I mean, they're one of the teams I have no idea what to expect,
Now,
to be honest.
They do have a good center.
Yeah, he's the Remington favorite.
He was the preseason
which is the best
first team
center in the
All-American.
country. So, yeah, I mean, I think his name, Jake or something?
Something Parker was
Yeah,
his name.
Yeah, good player. But what's around him, tackles, you know what I'm saying? They need to protect DJ, and they have to run the ball. So, but if that defensive line is as good as it was last year, then they should be fine.
Now, I don't know if y'all saw this. Yesterday, the SEC voted to go to 9 conference games.
Boo! I heard crying all day from Coach
Okay.
James Hale.
There, he'd be crying.
So I'm
He
sitting
was
here,
yesterday.
I'm looking at Florida's schedule, and Jason, you mentioned it just a second ago, and I'm like, okay, well, they basically did 9 conference games. There's 2 teams that aren't in the SEC; they're in the ACC. But the interesting thing that they did with this, they only have 3 regular opponents. The rest are alternating, and they play every team at least on a home and home every 4 years as they're doing the thing. I'm pulling it up right now. That was on here. And then they also have to play at least one quad 5 school. And they regulated this to the Atlantic Coast Conference, the Big 10, or the Big 12, or Notre Dame. So you're going to have 9 conference games plus a game against a school from one of those conferences. And they want to have the toughest schedule the SEC does in the country, bar none. But here's what I'm like, okay, that's great. You're going to play it in-house 9 games. But what happens to your Tulanes, Memphis, these teams that are building their way up?
Yeah,
I think this is just another way of these conferences.
UCF, bye-bye.
You know, if the SEC does it, Jason, you're a Big Ten guy. I feel the Big Ten's fixing to go to something similar. And then once they do, it's going to force the ACC to do it.
Right.
And all these big conferences. Now you got, out of 12 games, you got 3 games.
Yeah, and then you have the elite, and then everyone else.
But you don't have 3. You only have 2.
But here's the thing. As a Big Ten person my whole life, we've been force-fed this. SEC is the best thing since ever. There's nothing ever been better, invented than SEC football. Okay, be careful what you ask for. Okay, you want to have the Super League and you want to do this? Well, sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do. It's going to make you a little uncomfortable. No more Mercer, no more Austin P, no more...
In week 10. You know what I'm saying?
Tuskegee School for the Blind.
Right.
I mean, you can't play. That's just... Everybody's got to play by the same rules. And the other one is Notre Dame's got to get in there, too, somehow. That's
Notre
what
Dame's
still
gotta get into a
aggravates me.
conference. Yeah, they've got to get into conference. That's the most frustrating
They're just
thing
doing
that
their
they're
own
not in.
thing.
And they're benefiting
Oh, you
huge.
got to play a Big 10 or Big 12 or Notre Dame.
Or Notre Dame.
No.
But Notre Dame gets to keep their entire payouts for any playoff
Right,
run. So
exactly.
if they get $30 million, they put it directly in their pocket and be like, peace out. If an SEC school does that,
Listen,
they
they're
have
not
to
hurting
share
for
it.
money.
Oh,
They're funded by the Catholic
And
Church, by the
look how
Vatican.
well they recruited the last 3 years. I mean, never like anything under Brian Kelly. Marcus Freeman's in the top 5 of recruiting every year now, and that's because they got that type of money now.
I like reading between the lines on some of these, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, that's great, this 9-game thing for the top 6 or 7 in the SEC, but what about the bottom of the SEC? Your Vanderbilts, sorry, Wildcat, Kentucky, Arkansas. Well, Arkansas has been decent
Start
times,
Vegas.
but all of a sudden now they've got to play all the teams that are above them an extra game.
Well, I will
just
say
kill the
this:
program.
when you suck, all games are hard.
Yeah, we talked about that before. You got a really tough schedule. Yeah, because you're no good.
Yeah, like when Indiana or Northwestern plays,
Exactly.
a Big Ten schedule, they get beat. You got to recruit better, you got to develop better. So I think the SEC this year is probably the most complete and deepest it's been in a while, because there's like legitimately 7 teams that can make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I
Usually
agree
there's
with that.
3 or 4. They get a little hype because of Alabama, Georgia, LSU, but now you got Alabama, Georgia, LSU. We don't know what Florida's going to do. A&M, Texas. Oklahoma's getting a lot of hype. South Carolina.
What about South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, they got maybe the 2 best players in the SEC. It was Sellers at quarterback and then Dylan Stewart at defensive end. So, to me, it's been the deepest it's been in a while. The quarterback play is going to really determine how good the SEC is this year.
Yeah.
Kyle, tell us a little bit about TK Vandy Roofing and what you can do for the community out here being a local.
Absolutely. If you guys need any help with insurance, and by the way, we're in hurricane season.
Yeah.
So if you need to get a hold of us, even like let's say something comes through, we're there. We do emergency response, and we can walk you through the process with all that as well. Hopefully we won't have any hurricanes. I'm tired of that rat race. It's difficult. 866-9908, get a hold of me and we can walk you through the process. And we also do general contracting. We're a general contractor that specializes in roofing, so we can do the whole thing for you. 866-9908, or visit us at tkvandy.com.
You're listening to 104.3 Northwest Florida ESPN, home of the Atlanta Braves. We'll see you on the way back, and we start with another college update.
Alabama update with Jeff Spiegel.
Jeffrey.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, numerous thunderstorms and very light rain and a high of 88 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, scattered thunderstorms and sprinkles and a low near 78. Tomorrow, definite thunderstorms and moderate rain and a high around 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Taco Bell is now on DoorDash in Port St. Joe. That's right, you can enjoy craveable tacos, burritos, and more delivered right to your door. Craving a late night snack? Taco Bell in Port St. Joe has you covered. Open until 1, 7 days a week. Plus, start your day off with their delicious breakfast menu, available until 10 a.m. Taco Bell, where the craveable comes true. Taco Bell, now on DoorDash in Port St. Joe.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
For the A.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
Your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live nights and weekends. This is Braves Country. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Player. Be nice. Be a player.
No.
High tide. Alabama. I'll say roll tide just because Coach Hale is not here to say it for himself. so I said it on behalf of him. I am Patrick with Turpro Pest Control, filling in for Coach Hale. It's hot outside. You need that air conditioning kicking. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They can come out there, get your air conditioning running the right way, repair your unit, or if you need a new unit, he's going to come in there, tell you what you need, not oversell you, get it done, get it installed, and get you back cool so you're not melting in your own house. We got Jeff Spiegel fixing to come on the line here with us. Talk about the Alabama here for a few minutes.
Love Jeff.
While we're getting him all dialed up, go see Chad Mitchell at Orthopedic Associates. He's on the sidelines. Great guy, serving the community for 26 years on our football sidelines. He'll be out there again tonight on somewhere. Go out there, see Chad Mitchell at Orthopedic Associates. He'll help you get fixed up with any of your aches and ills as far as injuries. Robot MD is one way to look him up. And look at ChadMitchellMD.com.
Mosley Rutherford tonight.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Tommy
Big
Oliver,
game.
7 o'clock, people.
Big game. Jeff, you there?
Yes.
How we doing?
Jeffrey?
Really good. How about you guys?
Doing good, sir. How you
Great.
doing?
Football season.
Oh, yeah.
We're melting here in Panama City with the heat.
Jeff, has high school football started in Alabama, or is it next week?
It's this week. We had some games last night. We had a couple of defending champs play. Thompson and Parker both played. I mean, two names that may not mean a lot to y'all down there, but Thompson has certainly got some national recognition, in recent years. And, it took them a while to get going. They scored 31 points in the second half and beat Carver Montgomery 37-6.
Nice.
So 31 points in the second half, I should say. So Trent Seaborn, he's been a starter since an 8th grader, had a good night for them.
Did you see anything on the Prattville, Pike County or Pike Road game?
I was kind of keeping an eye on that. I was kind of busy, but I was taking a look at it. And I saw Pike Road came back and won that one.
Okay, I was watching it through about the third quarter, and it was like 14-14 in a tight game, but I didn't get to see the end of it.
Yeah, Pike Road, I think, won that one 21-14, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they're the defending state champs, aren't they?
Pike Road?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. And, I mean, it's football is so great. I mean, in this state, I mean, the Super 7 is just, it's just must-see football every year, and there's so many great teams. I mean, I'm talking not just 7A, 6A, but, 5A all the way down through 1A. Just really good football.
Do we have any Alabama commits in any of those teams that we were just talking about, Jeff?
No, not really. I mean, Parker last year, Thompson's been feeding a lot of people to Auburn.
Oh,
okay. Recently. Yeah, Jared Smith is a freshman down there, and then they've really done a good job of kind of just feeding players to that school. Jared Smith is the big name from last year's team, and I mean, it's just been, and then I forgot about Fagans, Antoine Fagans, is also another, great player that's down there as well. So you'll be hearing a lot from those guys in the near future.
Okay. Yeah, I know Pike Road, their running back, he's got offers from most of the schools. He's one of the top running backs in the country, and Alabama has offered him. I was thinking he had already committed to them, but I'm guessing he hasn't yet, because I know Georgia's offered him, Alabama.
All the big boys.
All the big ones. And he was putting on a performance last night.
Yeah, Pike Road, that's where Judkins came from, right? Quinshawn Judkins? Yeah.
Yeah, the high school sports here in Bay County really just kicked off, so we're excited. We had a
bang.
Yeah, we had a Bay High Arnold here, and there's a lot of contention, if you will, down here in the Panhandle, sir.
A lot of fireworks, even after the game.
Jeff, we've been deprived this week from hearing a lot about Alabama because Coach Hale's been on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got some big shoes.
I wrote the show on Wednesday from Auburn.
But you've got some big shoes to kind of fill here to try to get all the Alabama fans here something to salivate their mouths with.
Yeah, give us an update, Bubba. What's going on?
Listen, everything has been so positive from that camp. I mean, I've never known a fall camp where really just nothing but positive news has come from a camp. The only negative really was the Jam Miller injury, and it's a collarbone. He dislocated it, and they're hoping he'll be back for the Georgia game. But look, if there's an area on this football team where they could, where they can easily get a guy next man up to come up, I think it's that room. Now the question is, which man is going to be the next man up? And Kalen DeBoer addressed that yesterday, that, you know, he wants to see a guy, two guys, you know, kind of step forward and say, you know, we're going to be the guys, you know, while Jam's out. And he's got so many people there that can do so many things. It's just a matter of, you know, who's going to step forward. You can't play 7, but, you know, you're probably going to play 2, maybe 3. And but that is not going to be a major concern as we navigate the first few weeks of this schedule, I don't think.
Jeff, with Ty Simpson taking over as quarterback here at Alabama, and, you know, his first start is going to be on the road in Tallahassee, hostile environment. Mm-hmm. What's kind of the consensus opinion or feeling of how he's going to handle that situation early in the game with the offense? Are they going to try and, you think, rely more on the run, or are they going to let him just open it up and from the get-go start slinging it all over the place?
Well, I mean, I think obviously, you know, they want some balance. And the thing that Kalen DeBoer said yesterday was just move the chains, man. You know, we want you to stay upright. We want you to throw the ball. But you know, if you have an opportunity to run, and we've seen glimpses of him and the foot speed that he has. He's got pretty good foot speed, you know, to get away from people and get down the field. So I think if Alabama fans don't know about that by now, I think that they'll be a little surprised, you know, by that when they see it in action for the first time. Is he Jalen Milroe? No, he's not Jalen Milroe.
Is he more like a Mac Jones?
Jalen Milroe. Well, I mean, faster than Mac Jones.
Faster, okay.
Yeah, but I think an arm just as lethal, you know, as Mac Jones. So I think this guy's going to be really good, and he's got a really good supporting cast, and I think that's good. That helps the quarterback who's going into, you know, a place like Doak Campbell Stadium, you know, for the first time. The thing that really impressed me about him was, I think it was the Mercer game last year, where he escaped like a big rush. He had like a big 350-pound guy on his back, and he kind of shook him off. And then he kept his eyes downfield and hit Josh Cuevas on a pass down around the 5. You guys remember that play? I mean, it was pretty amazing. All the guys to this day, I mean, they still talk about that play. And they go, that was when we knew this guy was going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, when he you know, overcame that little bitty piece of adversity.
I like him. Have you met him or talked with him with all your reporting?
I saw him at the Alabama Media Day. Now, we weren't allowed to interview him at that point because they had not named him as the starter yet. But the thing that impresses me about him is just that, you know, his interaction with the fans. I mean, he's a good fan guy. You know, he was throwing passes to little kids.
Yeah.
He was signing
I bet he's a
autographs
locker room
for
guy,
people.
too.
An incredible locker room guy. Just a guy that can get into a huddle, get people's attention, and take them where he wants them to go.
Can you talk a little bit about what the offense is going to look like? I mean, Ryan Grubb does this stuff a little bit different than what the Nick Saban era did. They use a lot of the screen game as their run game. Do you kind of foresee that still being the case, or do you think they're going to adapt a little bit and kind of lean on that offensive line early in the season?
Well, I think they will lean on that offensive line because, I mean, it's one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
And I think they will utilize. I think running backs are going to, you know, be catching the ball, you know, out of the backfield. You're probably going to see some wheel routes, you know, with guys. You know, they want to that they feel like they've got a guy with a pretty good arm here that they can use. And you know, Ryan Grubb last week said something to the effect of, you know, this is not a Jalen Milroe offense. And that wasn't a knock against Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe, they needed to build the offense around him last year.
Yeah.
You know, because he was the best quarterback on the roster. So, but in this case, you know, they want to protect him, and I think this offensive line can do that. They want to run block. I think this offensive line can do that. So obviously, you know, they want a balance, but I think this is going to be a team that's certainly, you know, not afraid to jack it up and burn people deep.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Florida State or any team to cover Ryan Williams, especially if they have a decent run game I don't know that Florida State in their first game has anybody that can just line up man-to-man and cover him. We saw that last year. There wasn't anybody really in the SEC that could do that.
But do you think they are more confident in their second and third receiver this year than they were last year? I know you can't really tell a lot because Milroe just wasn't that type of passer, but I feel like they have more of a balanced, more talented group of wide receivers this year that make them even more dangerous.
Well, they've got a lot of weapons, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they just had Ryan Williams, I mean, defenses can take Ryan Williams away.
Right.
But, they got Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton. I mean, don't forget about him, the transfer from Miami. And, I mean, there are so many guys, that can catch the football and do some things. But Williams and Bernard are the ones that you hear about the most right now. But there are guys that are going to be, catching some balls and opening up some eyes as we go through this season.
Jeff, we're going to have to take a break. You going to hang on with us and do the Auburn update also?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Absolutely.
Let me get a couple of these guys that help this radio show stay on. Jay Michaels, if you want something good to eat for lunch, go on down there. He's got lunch specials every day, Monday through Friday. They also serve a great dinner. They have one of the coldest beers in town with their frosted mugs. Jay Michael actually takes Spaghetti Wednesdays. Awesome. I'm going to tell you right now, if you hadn't had their fish sandwich for lunch, that is one of the best things. I get it almost all the time.
You get it blackened or fried?
Yes, blackened.
Blackened, that's what
and it's triple tail.
Okay.
So it's not just some ordinary out thing. And he actually has, with his sandwiches, he orders his own buns. One of the only places that has them here in town. Absolutely awesome place to go eat.
Out there.
Another good place here on Thomas Drive, right across from the Navy base, is El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Great food, great atmosphere, great people. So you got two great choices right here on Thomas Drive within 5 minutes of each other. Perfect time to go out. Get you something to eat before these football games tonight on the high school stuff. Go get your skin checked. Dr. Ward with Dermatology Associates. How many locations do you have, Wildcat? 11?
Plus the hospital.
25, 100, or something like that. I think he's opening his own hospital now or something.
Yep.
5 minutes getting checked with your skin could save your life. Go get it done. We'll be right back after this messages on ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3.
You've read the headlines. You've seen the highlights. But how about the unfiltered truth?
Steroid era, you can like it, love it, hate it, whatever. It saved baseball.
Since 2017, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed leader for sports coverage on the Panhandle. If it matters in sports, it matters to us, and it matters to you. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, numerous thunderstorms and very light rain and a high of 88 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, scattered thunderstorms and sprinkles and a low near 78. Tomorrow, definite thunderstorms and moderate rain and a high around 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your NFL and college football headquarters is Dak Cajun Place. With 27 TVs, you won't miss a play or a game. Score 50-cent wings during live games every Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. 50-cent wings and $5 pitchers during live games only at Dak Cajun Place. LSU and Saints fans, wear your team colors and get free Jell-O shots when LSU or the Saints score. Plus brunch on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2 with $3 mimosas. Game like a local at Dak Cajun Place.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
will say that for Coach James Hale. Also, just because he's not here.
13 vacations a year.
Hey,
exactly.
Let's be
It's a
honest.
good gig.
Hey, I'm not gonna.
And Wildcats.
Hey,
here
I'm
like
sitting
always.
right here.
I'm
holding down the fort.
Holding down the fort.
I'm changing my dream. People ask me people ask you what your dream is all the time. I used to tell them just to hire a secretary.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I just want to hire a secretary and be like Coach Hill.
Yeah.
I get to travel all over and just talk sports, and then
I just want a real job.
that's it.
Just a real job.
Folks, tonight we have some high school football games. We'll get to that after we talk with Jeff Spiegel on this Auburn update. But go out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, especially if you're heading out from Mosley, going to the Mosley football game tonight.
Yeah, we love
Great
that.
food, great atmosphere. One of my favorite things to get there, they have and this is probably one of Kyle's here, a burger and wing special. It's like $11, and then
At the
it comes
stadium?
with fries. No, this is at
Buffalo.
Beef
Oh,
O'Brady's.
yeah, okay.
But
Buffalo wings are.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you get
He's got
5
good
of them
deals.
with like a burger.
All right, it's an awesome
Perfect.
little deal, and it's good. It's not what sometimes you go out and get one of those deals and it's cheap put together, and you're like, it was worth the value, but it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
No, you'll go just for that. It's
absolutely.
a great burger, and the wings are excellent there.
That's a good
Steve's
deal.
Bike Shop. I'm talking on Mosley. So Mosley is the swim coach. Steve's the swim coach over there at Mosley. He owns a bike shop right across the street from Sam's. Been there like 46 years, 47 years, maybe since the inception of Panama City over there with this thing. He's just a staple in the community. If you need an e-bike or a 10-speed or just a dirt bike, go down there and see him. If you have one and you want to get it redone, he can do that for you also. Locals helping locals. Jeff, I've got to ask, since you're on the show, and I kind of joked about it this week with a couple people. Wednesday was my daughter's birthday. We go out to dinner, and my son's sitting there, and I was like, he likes Auburn and Florida State. And I said, well, you should be celebrating over there. And he's like, why? And I said, because you won 7 national championships last night.
Oh, my God.
And he just kind of goes, no, they don't. They only have 2. And he looks it up, and he's sitting there the whole dinner like, what in the world? This is crazy.
Yeah, that's
All of a
crazy.
sudden, they got 9.
Right.
This is Alabama math. This is James Hale math.
Isn't it funny the
how
two
much?
schools in Alabama are the ones that claim the most national championships? They never won.
No,
I mean,
Auburn's claiming. I think they're up to 12 now.
It has 9, but
Yeah, it's 9.
So what's the? I'm glad we said that.
How's
'cause I
the
was going to ask
feelings
you that
going
too.
on
What's
there?
the deal with this, Jeff?
how the feelings in Alabama on it? In the state?
Well, an Alabama fan told me the other day, he said, now they have half as many as the Tide does. So, yeah. So, it's just, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But listen, they're all in on this now because they got
they
all
put
the
it at the
years put
stadium.
up on the. They do. They've got them on the stadium, on the facade there. So,
Are
so
you
they're all
kidding?
in on
No,
it.
it, Jared.
it's not a joke. It's 100%.
No,
Like,
well,
I read an article that went really in depth on why they did it. And what they did originally, when they were only claiming 2, they only claimed the AP national championships. So any other national championship that was voted on by a major media, they had never claimed. That was one of the reasons. As I was
define
reading the
major
article,
media.
Well, like
The Birmingham Gazette does not classify.
the New York
as-
Times. There was a lot of different publications that they were.
We can't
putting in
believe
there.
anything they say anyway.
They did it, and then they didn't take the coaches one either.
Now that would be one I would claim. I mean,
But the coaches didn't come in. I think it was. Are you familiar with that, Jeff? I think it was like the '60s or something before the coaches poll came in.
Yeah. And listen, there's so many avenues we can go here. But what I want to do is I want to talk about a couple of things. The 1993 and the 2004 teams were special.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
I saw a bunch of those games. I mean, those teams were really special. But the 93 team was on NCAA probation. They couldn't go to a bowl game. So 11-0 was the best they could do.
Yeah.
And look, if I'm like, if you're an Auburn fan back then, you were thinking, well, you know what? 11-0 is great. I don't know. Putting a national championship on it doesn't make that year any more special to me. And in fact, I mean, to me, it kind of cheapens it a little bit.
oh, absolutely. I mean, Ohio State.
So
went-
the 2004 team, that was a case where, they only had the BCS. You only had 2 teams go, and you didn't make it.
Well, there was
you
an
weren't part of
interesting
the national championship equation.
So there's an interesting stat if you really delve into it with the 2004 team. Auburn was left out based on strength of schedule, even though they played 4 top 10 teams and beat them. But this is interesting because when I was in college, and I was an Auburn fan and a Florida State fan when this all happened, but there was a team that dropped Auburn. I think it was Akron or something like that, 6 weeks before the season started. Do you know who picked them up?
Who?
Oklahoma. And that pushed Oklahoma on strength of schedule over Auburn. Or no, Auburn. I think Auburn had to pick up Akron, and the team that dropped Auburn rescheduled with Oklahoma because Oklahoma paid them more, and that was the strength of schedule difference in
that
them
was the
getting
differential.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And you can go and look it back up. It's interesting with the BCS because that was a major thing in there was strength of
Still
schedule.
some fuzzy math.
Was that Florida?
It was Oklahoma and
it was Oklahoma and USC.
USC, yeah.
And then Auburn was the third team.
Yeah.
And then when they went and looked at the team that Oklahoma dropped and the team that they picked up, which was the team Auburn was supposed to play and the team that Auburn dropped, if they just kept the original schedule or if Auburn had played that, Auburn would have been greater, and Auburn gets into the thing.
Look, I thought they should have been in the championship game that year. They had a tremendous team. I think that was the Carnell Williams, Cadillac Williams.
I don't know that they beat USC, but they would have played much better than Oklahoma.
What's the
nobody
quarterback
cares
name?
about USC.
No, but Auburn should have played. But the fact that they didn't, I don't understand how they're claiming a national title there. And even in the other one, Ohio State went 12-0 in 2012 when Urban Meyer first came in there. They had a bowl ban. Do they claim a national championship? No. I mean, if you're not playing in the top 2, and the BCS had the top 2.
Let me ask you this, Jason, and, as well as you, Jeff. What do you think about with the the early 1900s ones that they're adding onto that too?
I can tell you the 1913.
Yeah, I think it was like 1908, 1913, something like that.
Just on the 1913 team, nobody scored on them the entire year.
Is that the year Navy was given the national championship?
Something like that. I mean, there was one of the years they outscored the opponents like 224-13, and the 2 scores that were allowed were in the last 2 games, and it was like 24-6.
They just didn't have a national championship back then, right? They just didn't have one.
There wasn't an AP poll, there wasn't a coaches poll or anything like that. So you had all these different regional stuff, but all right, Jeff. So what's your opinion on this?
Well, now let's talk about the 1983 team.
Okay.
I want to talk about the 1983 team. Okay, they were ranked 3rd going into the bowl games, right? Texas was number 2. They played Georgia in the Cotton Bowl, got beat by them. Nebraska was number 1. They played Miami, who was ranked 4th in one poll, 5th in another. And then Miami beat Nebraska, and the way they beat them was Nebraska went for 2 after scoring a touchdown to try to win the game, and they didn't make it. Right. So Miami stopped them. So you could make an argument that Auburn got jobbed then because, Miami gets in only because Nebraska, didn't convert on the 2 points and they made a gutsy call and they kind of got penalized. So Miami was ranked number 1, Nebraska was ranked number 2, and then Auburn, finished 3rd. Two interesting points here. Auburn now, it was a beauty contest on the bowl games. Auburn played Michigan, and Al Del Greco, the kicker, was the only guy who scored. He had 3 field goals, and they won an ugly game, 9-7. So that didn't help them. But I would ask you this. If you lined up the top 12 teams that year in a playoff, and then you tell me, would Auburn have survived that 12-team playoff and won the national championship? Or better yet, could they have gone head-to-head against Miami or Nebraska and beaten one of those 2 teams? I
don't know. Everybody starts saying no. I'll say this. They had Bo Jackson.
They had Bo Jackson.
And they had Lionel James.
Did.
And they had a good quarterback that could run also.
But Miami and Nebraska were stacked.
Miami had about 7. They had 7 or 8 Bo Jacksons.
Yeah,
Miami was nasty.
And Nebraska wasn't Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 80s. So, I mean, after, with the Auburn-Michigan game and all that, I think people just wrote Auburn off after that. And then they said, all right, the Miami-Nebraska game, that's for the national championship. That's what everybody thought. And Auburn was pretty much done after that Sugar Bowl game, regardless of what happened between Miami and Nebraska. But it turned out to be a great game. So they made the winner number 1 and the loser number 2.
So my philosophy is this. They're trying to deflect the fact that Hugh Freeze is not sold on a quarterback yet. He just came out this week and said, I might play all 3 quarterbacks in the game opener.
You know what they say?
So they're like, let's claim 11 national championships, because what the heck did he just say? So what is going on with the quarterback situation? Is he just making the comments out of,
And what about the play calling thing? Talking about it. Oh, I'm going to do first and he's going to do third.
I'm really confused because
and then we're going to have the fans do 5th down.
Right.
Like, what is going on here?
I'm really confused because this is a very talented team. You know that. The roster is loaded. I mean, they got 5 stars everywhere. Defense is really improving. They got some young guys over there. The one spot that we have a question at is quarterback, and it just seems like it's just not meshing in practice yet. Are you hearing the same things?
Well, there certainly are some mixed messages, coming out of practice. And Jackson Arnold is the guy. There's no doubt about that. You know, he's leaving his options open in terms of, whether he wants to put in Deuce Knight for a package or Ashton Daniels for a package. Both of those guys are, talented, dual threat guys. I would say I wouldn't be surprised, if you saw all 3 of those guys coming in Baylor. It's not going to be one of those things where, Jackson Arnold's in there on 1st down, Deuce Knight's in there on 2nd down, and Ashton Daniels is in there on 3rd down. That'd be bad, right?
You might see depends on the play calling because they got the special teams coach, they got the offensive coordinator. I think they get a fan that tweets in what their play is going to be.
Yeah.
A lot of cooks in the kitchen. But I remember many, many years ago, a head coach, saying something in a press conference, and he goes, "Look, I know on the outside it looks like there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, but I'm the head chef.
Yeah.
I'm the head chef here." So that's where Hugh Freeze should have just shut that down, all that stuff down, and said, "Hey, look, all the play calling comes through me."
Yep.
And and I think, I think once the season starts, all this stuff's going to die down. But that opening game, if they get clocked by Baylor, guys, it could be a long year.
It could be a long year.
Yeah. It could be a quick year for Hugh Freeze.
Yeah. Baylor's getting a lot of love. Have you scouted them a little bit? I don't understand where that's coming from. I think Auburn's got tons more talent.
Auburn's got tons of talent.
Yeah. I like Aranda, but I think he's had some seasons where he just hasn't been great. What are you expecting in that game?
Well, I would say any first game is everything kind of goes out the window.
You're right.
You take a look at these high school games last night, and I know we're comparing high school to college, and I hate to do that, but you see it in the first games of the college games. You got guys jumping off sides, you got false starts happening, you got turnovers and all that stuff. So when you come out of the gate, and you play a Power 4 team, you got to be buttoned up. You got to be sharp, and sometimes turnovers happen and losses happen.
Yeah.
Jeff, we really appreciate you as always. It is great having you on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Jeff.
Next Friday, you giving us that lovely Alabama, Florida State, and Auburn Baylor predictions. Looking forward to it next week. We really appreciate you.
Happy Friday.
On the show.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend.
Have a good one, Jeff.
Sir. All right, you too, buddy.
All right.
I think Auburn plays on Friday night.
Yeah, they do.
I think so.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, a week from today.
Guys, you're listening to 104.3 ESPN Radio, home of the Atlanta Braves.
We'll get into some high school football when we come back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
There's entertainers and there's competitors.
That was not a shot at Shedeur Sanders. Shame on everybody that said it was. Do not. You're hurting Shedeur. You're turning a non-circus into a circus. When he said that, he was taking a shot at us. He was taking a shot at guys like me.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays at 1.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
The world
world full of noise, one name cuts through it all.
Amplify AI.
We help HVAC, plumbing, and home service pros get found fast. More leads, more calls, more results. This ain't just marketing. It's AI-powered performance.
Amplify AI.
Hear the roar.
Call Lee at 850-299-1269. Amplify AI.
That bear ain't just for show.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Monster, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Hello, everyone out there in Panama City Beach, Laguna Beach, all around the area over there in St. Joe. I am Patrick Garner with Turf Pro Pest Control, filling in for the legendary and one and only Coach James Hale. I've got Jim Bob to my left, Kyle Vandergriff with TK Vandy Roofing over here in front of me, and then also Jason Kovalesti with Max Fit Sport Nutrition with us. Before we get into our next topic, talking about some high school football, let me hit a couple of these guys that support the show and help us stay on the air. I want to give a big shout out and thanks to Taco Bell over in Port St. Joe. They do a wonderful job over there, helping support us, do a lot over there for the community. If you're over in St. Joe, need a good place to go get you some quick food, go stop by Taco Bell, please.
Good pregame meal right there.
There you go. St. Joe plays next week, so don't go to the stadium tonight. You'll be there by yourself.
You'll be on fire.
Tomorrow actually starts college football. We have some real games. If you want a great place to go watch some of these games, starting tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I think it's Iowa State open up the games as far as Division I. Go to that Cajun Place right down here on Thomas Drive. Plenty of TVs, good food, great atmosphere, good people. You can wear your LSU shirt tomorrow, but they're not going to score. You're not going to get your free shot. They're not playing. Now, you might be able to do that on Sunday with New Orleans. Right. Because New Orleans will be playing. So you can go do that on Sunday. But go there Saturday.
Clemson's pretty good.
Get you some crawfish, some good food, some red beans and rice. All that is excellent down in there.
And Iowa State's playing Kansas State, so that's a top 25 matchup. So
yes, it is a great one. But
what are they in Germany or something?
Something like that. Before we get to
we got to stop doing that.
So I'm going to give a shout out to my daughter. Her birthday was Wednesday. Happy 17th birthday.
Happy birthday.
I've got to go down to one of Wildcat's favorite places. They did something for him, and I need to do it. I keep putting it off. But how do I get down to David Addison Fine Jewelers?
All you got to do is, if you want to do a one-of-a-kind thing that she's going to cherish for the rest of her life, become a family heirloom like what I did. I had something designed. They created it, and they did it, I don't know, in like 2 weeks. It's a one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry. Go to David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Highway 77. Draw it on a piece of paper. They'll, fine-tune it for you and everything like that, and then walk around and look at all the other pieces of jewelry. But you can get a one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry there, and you can do it cheaper than anybody else. They will also clean your rings and check all the facets, make sure that you aren't going to lose any of those precious stones. They do that absolutely for free at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
Those are all great people, great establishments, locals helping locals. Well, let's get into the high school sports. We had a game last night.
Patrick,
right here in Bay
County.
To get
into this?
I am sitting over here trembling because I know Kyle has a plethora of information.
Because we're about to get into it.
Yeah, we're about to get into it. Let's start out with Bay and Arnold.
Okay.
Let's start out with the game, then we can get into some of the Arnold situation and we'll get some predictions. Go ahead.
So last night, Bay versus Arnold at Tommy Oliver Stadium, 42-6. Now, I was on the sideline. When I saw Arnold come onto the field, it was like a glaze over their heads.
Do you think they had a hangover from what happened?
I really do. I think the morale was down 100%. And I saw Bayhigh, like, I didn't see one kid on the sideline slapping each other's helmets,
right?
Headbutt, getting pumped up. There wasn't the
fire,
the guy that was pumping them up.
I noticed that. I watched the game on YouTube. I worked a little bit late, so I couldn't get out to the stadium, but I thought the exact same thing. When we see these big rivalries, I mean, you almost got to kill somebody to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And that intensity, that hitting, I just didn't see that from Arnold. I think there was a hangover. Maybe they looked across and thought, man, how are we going to beat these guys? And maybe that played into their head a little bit, because Bayhigh's got some dudes, you know what I'm saying? They got some
and if
talent.
you look at Bayhigh's roster and you look at their measurables, it looks like this team has got the measurables to be successful in their class.
They make a real run this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching what I saw with Bay, my first analysis was they have some speed.
Oh, they got a speed everywhere.
They do. I mean,
they've
always had speed. I think most of their issues in the past has been how's their offensive line held up? Is their defensive line stout enough to play against these bigger teams? But I will say this: the group that impressed me the most was Bayhigh's defensive line last night. They controlled the game. They lived in the backfield. The only thing Arnold could really get going on offense is when the quarterback scrambled out of pressure and made some runs. That was their best offense all night, but they lived in the backfield and dominated that game last night.
Look, there's some notable players. We got a phone call?
Oh, we got a phone call.
Okay.
Who we got there, Wildcat?
Got Rob.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Rob, how we doing?
Rob's got a question
guys,
for
how are
Jim.
y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Jim. Since we are doing the high school stuff, and I hear this all the time, people pronounce Cairo, Georgia, is not Cairo, Georgia. Nobody knows where Cairo, Georgia's at.
Cairo?
It's Cairo. Yeah.
Cairo.
But when you say it with that Panama City accent, it's Cairo.
Cairo, Georgia.
Right.
My bad.
Cairo syrup, because they are the Cairo syrup makers.
That's true.
That's their mascot. Anyway, and last night, did Bayhigh put it on, Arnold?
Yes.
Yes, sir. That's what we were going over.
It was 35-0 at halftime and runner clock in the second half.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, they should have beat Arnold last year.
Yeah.
They were inside the 3-yard line with less than a minute to go, and ran 4 plays, and didn't score. They could have kicked the field goal with time running out, and didn't do that.
Yeah.
They went on 4th down.
I remember that.
Yeah. So there was a lot of heated blood last night.
Right, and me and my son were sitting there saying, why are they not kicking a field goal? Why are they not kicking, and somebody said, well, they don't have a kicker. They kicked an extra point the first part of the game.
They were using those college coaching rules where the coach does the first down, and then another coach does the second down, and another coach does the third down, and they didn't have a coach for the 4th down.
I think what happened is Coach Hale was at the game, and he was getting honored that season for some of his stuff, so he kind of tipped off some people at the Bay, hey, just let us win one.
Yeah, I'm sure they really loved doing that for him.
But, hey, I am excited about tonight. I'm interested to see what Mosley looks like with their they've got a new quarterback coming out.
JP Holstenbeck.
Yes, and so
Junior 6'2".
People,
yeah,
everybody get out there to the game.
They've got another kid behind him that's good too.
Yeah, the freshman.
Yeah,
and he is going to play.
Yeah,
maybe not tonight, but.
All right, so look, let me get into some notable players last night that I found significant at the Bay Arnold game. TJ Davis also got News Herald Player of the Game, 2.5 sacks and a touchdown. That boy was all over the field.
Yep.
He was on fire. Okay, MJ Wilkerson, running back. He did a play where he cut back twice and broke 5 tackles.
Dodged a helmet
for a touchdown. These boys were looking good. Xavier Morgan, quarterback, did great. He commanded the field the way he was supposed to. Jeremy said, "Look, it's been Zay and John at the very beginning, and they've been battling. But guess what? John was on that field when Zay was at quarterback. They were putting him in slot.
They were.
He's like, I'm putting my best 11 on the field all game.
And when he played quarterback, I was super impressed. They got some depth there. I mean, and it doesn't hurt to have two guys that can step in and run the offense seamlessly, and they both look good.
A kid on the offensive line that plays center, J.J. Brown.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore. He's going to be a stud.
Yeah, he's going to be a stud.
To me, that was the biggest difference in the game was the trenches. The Bay High dominated. There wasn't really a lot of pressure from Arnold, and they just couldn't block Bay's defensive front.
Well, also, too, Bay had 5 offensive touchdowns and 1 special teams touchdown.
Yeah, that punt return.
Caden Brown blocked a punt in the end zone.
Yep.
For a block 6.
They also had an interception return for a touchdown. I think they got called back from about the 5-yard line.
That was Daryl Andrews. He would have had 2 picks, 1 being a pick 6.
Yeah. The most interesting thing with me is Bay's got a lot of young guys that are coming out and stepping up.
Yeah.
I talked to Jeremy a lot this offseason. They really embraced the weight room. We've talked a lot about what they need to do, for nutrition, intra, post, pre-workout. They really put the time and effort in, and I think it looked like it paid off last night.
Well, one of the comments that Jeremy said on Twitter when Banji was interviewing him last night is he was like, our strength and conditioning was questioned. He goes, I don't think it's questioned anymore.
And we talked about that a lot, and that's what I told.
Because you and me, we were kind of like, are they going to be battle hardened for this?
And are they going to have the endurance? Are they going to have the stamina to withhold this for 4 quarters? And they did, and they had a lot of good players. I mean, they got some dudes over there, man.
Yeah.
They got
and even
some
TJ Davis's interview last night, he said, Coach had us running stadiums and 110s, and we've been doing this all summer. He's like, the coaching staff prepared us for tonight.
And I think Arnold will bounce back quick. Just one last thing, because there's a lot of good guys out there. I do think missing their coach did have an effect on the game. I think
if you look at the way they played in the kickoff class, against those other teams, Destin and the other ones.
It was night and day.
And even me, I got egg on my face because I picked Arnold to win by 2 points.
Yeah.
I picked Arnold to win by 2 points, and so Jeremy Brown, I had to do push-ups on the sideline last night.
JB, never a doubt for me, brother. Never a doubt.
Let's take a break because we got a phone caller that wants to disagree with Rob with some statistics, and we'll take our break and come back with that phone caller.
How to get hijacked.
All right. And then we'll get back to this high school football.
All right, we'll see you on the backside. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Radio.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
The minimum unsportsmanlike, the likability aspect of it. It's kind of like the Cleveland Browns quarterback battle. Nuno is like the Joe Flacco of the group. Pat Costello and Javante are like Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, so they're kind of fighting it out. And then I would say, Evan Cohen and the Cams are like Kenny Pickett.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, numerous thunderstorms and very light rain and a high of 88 with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, scattered thunderstorms and sprinkles and a low near 78. Tomorrow, definite thunderstorms and moderate rain and a high around 85. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking for the most romantic night out in Panama City? Ferrucci Ristorante is your destination for authentic Italian cuisine and unforgettable moments. The candlelight, the wine, the homemade pasta. It's like a little slice of Italy. From handcrafted sauces to centuries-old recipes, Ferrucci brings true Italian flavor to every plate. It's where love stories begin and anniversaries are celebrated. To reserve your table, call 850-913-9131. Ferrucci Ristorante, Panama City's most romantic escape.
What's in store at our national sales event? A lot. And this month at Panama City Toyota, get 3.99% APR on the super stylish Camry, plus 90 days until you make your first payment, and 3.99% on the impressive RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the ruggedly refined Tacoma, or get 1.99% on the hardworking Tundra. Let's put you in the driver's seat at Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires September 2nd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Welcome Welcome back to the Coach James Hill Show, 104.3 ESPN Radio, home of the Atlanta Braves. This weekend, if you're looking for a good time, go out and have some fun, relieve the stress of the work week. Go head on down to Newbies. 4 great locations right out here on Panama City Beach. Good atmosphere. They're going to have some good live music going on. We got TK Vandy Roof in here with us with Kyle Vandergriff, and then Max Fit Sport Nutrition, Jason Kovaleski, and then myself, Patrick Garner with Turf Pro Pest Control. We have a caller on the phone, a legendary coach here.
Real legend.
This guy's wanted to pick a
from
fight.
Bay Counter. He's a little agitated at some of the stats we're giving out, so he wants to correct us. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, listen, all respect for Rob, but I was standing on the sidelines last year, and they actually fumbled the ball on 3rd down, but what they were doing was supposed to run the ball off tackle, put the ball right in the middle for the field goal kicker, and the guy running the ball aside, he could break outside and make it. And so instead of, they had 1 timeout left, and they were going to run it down to about 3 seconds. And so the guy broke outside thinking he could make it, and the guy stripped him. So that was the end of the ball game. They did have a plan to kick a field goal, though.
Yeah.
I was standing right there. I've known Jeremy since he was 5 years old. So when I was standing there going, Jeremy, you going to kick it, Jeremy?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, Coach, we're going to run this play, and we're going to take it. We're going to call a timeout, and last play of the game will be this.
Coach, we want to talk a little bit because we felt like there was a letdown with the Arnold. Do you think that has something to do with Coach Griffin and the appeal denial and everything going on?
I tell you what, when your leader's down, the guy that's the inspiration for you, it does leave a little cloud over your head. It's hard to shake some of that off. And then I think the other thing too is he went yesterday and it was turned down. So I think that was they had some hope there. And then when it gets turned down, of course, you never know how the FHSA is going to vote. Trust me, been there several times. And so that was kind of a crusher. So I think that had a little bit to do with it. And it's not, when you don't have your main guy there, I mean, you can have both staffs have great coaches, but it's somehow it's just not the same when the vocal guy is not there to speak up.
Yeah, Coach, and I was on the sideline with you last night, and we were looking at Arnold, and when they came out, to me, it was like there was a glaze over them. They had a disgruntled hangover.
They were a little flat, and then they start out pretty good, but then once you get punched in the mouth a couple of times, the enthusiasm wears off, and you have to get down to tactics.
Glenn, let me ask you a question. Yeah. You've been around. You were AD. You probably know this. A coach gets suspended like Coach Griffin does. Does that mean he can't coach during the week? Can he coach during the week but just can't do the games? How does that work?
He's suspended. He's suspended for the game.
Okay.
So he can't be around. He can't be anywhere there.
So he can practice during the week,
but he can't be. He can't be at the stadium or in the press box.
Right, no, he can't be there. But, last night they were streaming the game everywhere, so we got to watch the game.
Yeah, I did. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so, because I was telling somebody in Port St. Joe the score, and they go, we're watching it. They go, oh, okay. So,
look, Coach, you've seen a lot of Bay High teams. You've seen a lot of good ones. Went to a state championship. Talk a little bit about this Bay High team. I was super impressed. I've seen a lot of athletes. I thought their defensive line dominated. I thought their offensive line looked really good. The quarterbacks were really good. So talk a little bit about this Bay High team and what you see for them in the future.
Well, one of the things just helped. He's got a full coaching staff. Yeah. So you got people coaching positions, and you don't have like one guy coaching 2 or 3. But I watched them work out some this summer. I tell you what, they had the sand pit out there. And run through that sand pit and doing agilities, and then when you that goes back to Scroggins running the stadiums. When you besides running up down, you hop up there on 1 foot, and then or you wheelbarrow up and down, and you're in that heat. So we didn't have to worry about these much when I was playing because you were outside all the time. There wasn't any video games and all that. So, but I tell you what, they got overall speed. They go over to Niceville. I guess the Green Bay Packers were covered that weekend, so they couldn't play them. And so you find out what your weaknesses are right away. You know what you need to work on, so they come back and they work on it. And I think they're going to go a little bit further than they did last year. I think they'll win the district.
Yeah.
The real test will be Thursday night. Next Friday when they play Mosley. Because that'll be that's a big game there. And a couple of years ago when we beat them, they were a little upset. And but you know what? It is what it is, and you have to play with what happens because, it's tough. But I think they really got overall speed, and they got depth, which really helps me. And you're talking about J.J. Brown. He reminds me of Jared Moon a little bit. The size, and then being a sophomore, and on some of the plays he's pulling instead of the guard, and so that's a big plus.
I was really happy to see how TJ played last night. What a remarkable athlete. He didn't play against Niceville last week as well, a couple others. But I'm really excited to see how Bay's going to turn out.
I was really impressed with Davenport because, I coached his dad. His dad was a wide receiver and everything. So, but yeah, I watched him catch the ball. He's got great hands. He reaches out and catches the ball. And I just thought overall the defense was flying around. They threw, I don't think that Arnold had an answer for that little quick pass because they lined up 5 wides, and then they would read whoever's the furthest off, that guy would get the ball. And so then they would throw one deep. And so now you got to play off a little bit because you got number 2 and number 10 going deep, and they throw it deep, and they just barely missed a couple of times. So the defense has to back off. So now what do you do? So they kept staying in that.
Well, I was happy to see, Davenport and Amari Johnson really, taking it up because they were really jamming up Javar Bowden. And I guess that's what you do when he's 6. He's the 6'6", 3-star.
Well, you better, you're going to have to cover him. He's the D1. He's the D1 guy, so he's already got a target on him. And so I think he handled it quite well, not getting very many, attempts at him. I think he handled it quite well. I think that Arnold was outnumbered a little bit, outgunned, but I tell you what, they didn't give up. They play hard, at the end. They scored.
Yeah,
they kept
Darren Elder, I really like Darren Elder. I think he's a remarkable athlete. I think Will Cotter, when your head coach is your quarterback coach, the quarterback whisperer, and you don't have a Jason Griffin, I think Will was kind of put into a headspace that made him not really make the most efficient, judgments.
Some of the corrections you're going to make during the game.
And when you're under pressure that much, you really don't know what's going on.
The D-line was just coming. They were coming.
Every snap, every play, there was at least two Bay High guys in the backfield right in his face. And he made some good moves to get out and a couple first downs, but you can't really judge an offense on that. I think Arnold will be better in the future.
I think the Jamboree for Bay and going to Niceville and playing at that type of competition level, the way Niceville is, their powerhouse, it might have woke up some of those kids over there at Bay to say, hey, we got to up our game because if you want to be elite, you've got to play elite guys to know how elite is.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, when Bay went over there to Niceville, there was almost 11,000 people there.
Coach, talk a little bit about this Bay High-Arnold rivalry. It used to be Bay High-Rutherford, but this seems to be turning into a little nasty rivalry.
The bridge is real, people.
And the off-field stuff.
It goes back to when they first started Arnold, and it goes back to when, we lost 11 varsity lettermen and 19 JV guys.
Yeah.
So we had to play a 5A schedule with a junior varsity team, and so, that kind of goes back to it. And of course, I've been blamed for a lot of stuff that happened, but it's 25 years ago. So if you're still carrying a grudge, which I found out that was kind of one of the things was whispered to the school board. So, I don't know. But anyway, I tell you what, though, it's a good rivalry, and I know that Arnold's going to bounce back. They got great coaches. The kids really believe in the coaching staff. So I'm looking for Arnold to bounce back and have a really good season. So, the only thing they'll be chasing is Choctaw. That's the one that's the favorite, I think.
They've got
That's going to be tough. Coach, we appreciate the call. We're about up to the end of the show. We're about to run out of time here.
Love you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay. All right.
Jason, tell us a little bit about MaxFit Sport Nutrition.
Yeah, we got two great locations, 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village. We got our M-Body 570 sample bar. We also in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods. We're running a deal right now, 15% all pre-workouts through the end of August.
Kyle?
All righty, TK Vandy Roofing. Also, too, TK Vandy has We have a 501c3 called Unsanctioned Footprints, where we do a lot of construction missionary work down in Honduras as well as Uganda and Africa. And we're only able to do that because of the success of TK Vandy. So any business that we can get from you guys only goes to putting in God's work. So happy Friday, people.
Happy Friday. This is Patrick with Turbo Pest Control signing off.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. And the first player to win 5 straight times on the PGA Tour in consecutive